welcome to Legal Dilemmas, where you will find clear, concise legal advice. My name is Safina.
And my name is Brenda.
So, Brenda, today we're looking at the area of alcohol and drug testing in family proceedings. And it's usually, I think, in Children Act proceedings. So it would be helpful if you could tell us what the purpose of these tests are within these proceedings.
Okay. So alcohol and drug tests in the family court are used where there are allegations by one parent against the other of excessive consumption of alcohol or use of drugs. So the court need to determine the level of risk the party poses to the child. It can be the mother or the father. And in order to determine the level of risk, they will order alcohol and drug tests.
And so is that just to determine whether the other parent is still taking those drugs or that alcohol?
Okay. It will show, so hair strand tests for alcohol will show the type of drug and alcohol you are taking and the use of a period of months. And they can go back as far as 12 months. You can also have liver function tests for alcohol as well. There are various tests available, but the most common are the hair strand tests. Now, I'll tell you about an interesting scenario. I had a client where he was applying to see his son, and the mother said he was having drinking spirits every night. But she said because his body was so used to them, he didn't behave in a drunken manner, but she still felt his sense of judgment would be poor if he was having a drink every night. His response was that I only have one glass. Now, that does not tell you anything because we don't know the size of the glass. So he admitted he was having it, but only a glass. The court ordered hair strand tests. And then he came to the office 2 weeks later and he had shaved all his hair. So he didn't have any hair. Now, the court can take hair from other parts of the body, and 1 centimetre of hair will give you 1 month's growth. So 1 month's results, sorry. So if you've got 1 centimetre of hair, but you need to have 3 centimetres of hair because when they cut the hair, they need to be able to hold it in their hand and snip. So then it did not progress his contact any further because the other side was saying, well, you've removed your hair because what we're saying is correct, you're drinking too much. Then he had to wait for his hair to grow, which delayed the proceedings further, and then have the tests, which did show excessive consumption of alcohol. Now, because you consume alcohol, it doesn't mean it's a bar to you seeing your children. The court will want to know the impact of your consumption of alcohol or drugs and whether it impacts upon your ability to care for the child. And it could be the case that extra support is required to meet the needs of the child, such as having contact in a contact centre. So it's not a bar to contact, but it could delay unsupervised contact or overnight contact or anything of that sort.
I think so. That's actually a really helpful story because I suppose that goes to the credibility of father, because him removing his hair suggests that obviously he's telling untruths, which was made out later. And another interesting scenario, a case that I dealt with, where father was found after drug testing to have been consuming cannabis, which he strongly denied. He had 2 lots of drug testing, and he said it was because of the environment that he worked in, that he was inhaling the drugs. So he was saying that there were materials in his work environment which were causing that. And obviously, again, the court have it's actually an ongoing matter. They are now exploring whether that's possible and finding out what lubricants and that he's actually exposed to in order for that inhalation to take place. But it sounds like a really interesting area, Brenda.
Yes, so if the court order it, you have to have the tests. Normally they're paid for equally, and they will determine the level and nature of a parent's use of alcohol and drugs.
So thank you, Brenda. So these are like conclusive tests, and obviously if you're not taking any, you're not misusing alcohol or drugs, then it's definitely in your advantage. It's in your interest to agree to these tests. But I mean, in any event, the court is likely to expect you to engage with these tests because it is in the best interest of the child. So please like, subscribe, share, comment below in order for us to continue to provide you with further great legal content.